Hi, Mr. Lemaster here. Let's start with the question. Use the marking tool to highlight the two metaphors in the first paragraph. All right, so the first thing that we need to be comfortable with is the word metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison, typically stating something is something else. They don't use like or as. Writers don't use like or as when using metaphors. It's just stating something is like something, or something is something else, okay? So it's going to make a little bit more sense as you read these and as you study them. So let's take a look. This is our paragraph 1. Elie Weisel starts, I remember, it happened yesterday, or eternities ago. A young Jewish boy discovered the kingdom of night. Okay, the first metaphor is kingdom of night. And that's a metaphor because there really isn't such a thing as a kingdom of night, but night is typically thought of as a place of darkness, a place where we cannot see. There's a lot of myth in the stories about night and bad things happen at night. And so this is the kingdom of night, but what he's talking about, his experience in the Holocaust. So the kingdom of night is being compared to, or he's naming the Holocaust, this very dark, scary time. And it's the kingdom of night. All right. I remember his bewilderment. I remember his anguish. It all happened so fast. The ghetto, which is a real place, a highly populated, highly dense area of living, where the Jews were told to live. So they were all living in very close quarters in tight homes, very, very small area. So the ghetto, the deportation, where they were moved from city to city, the sealed cattle car, that's the cars that were used to move, train cars that were used to move cattle. These were, the Nazis used them to move the Jews. So they were crammed in these cattle cars. The fiery altar upon which the history of our people and the future of mankind were meant to be sacrificed. Okay, so the fiery altar is a metaphor. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. The fiery altar. So we think about altars in a religious space. We also think about sacrifices. And so he's comparing this fiery altar to the Holocaust. Again, the kingdom of night is the Holocaust, this fiery altar. And what happens at this fiery altar? Well, which the history of the people and the future of mankind were meant to be sacrificed. So the Jews were used, for history. Now we understand what can be wrong and terrible about this, but then at the same time, they were indeed murdered and killed. And so this fiery altar is a metaphor for this experience that he had, the fiery altar as the Holocaust. So kingdom of night, fiery altar. Now, if you ended up identifying the in front of fiery altar and the kingdom the kingdom of night, you might have lost a point or two because the metaphor is just simply kingdom of night and the metaphor is simply fiery altar, not the. And so you might have missed 1 or 2 points for that.